All right, in this video, we're gonna learn how to do the baffling, which is underneath this shiny radiant barrier. You can see underneath that roof, the general black color. So it's the smart baffle and the radiant barrier. Step one, smart baffle. All right, so the smart baffle comes in boxes that look like this. There's some that are pre-cut, ignore that. We wanna go with a new, brand new, full-size sheet. It comes in boxes like that. We got a piece right here. And the first one, working our way from bottom to top, the first one gets cut. So Josh here is gonna demonstrate that. So he's come out at 9 inches and he's gonna score a little mark on this side. And then he's gonna do the same on that side there at 9 inches. So now that we've marked the 9 inches, Jeff here is gonna cut all the way across. Yep. And he's gonna cut into that factory slot to cut off that little ear. And you'll see that little piece freeze off. We're gonna do that to both sides. Okay, now that we've got it cut, the little ear's cut off, we're gonna line this up on a straight edge. So we got this lined up on that side, and we're gonna push down. I like to do it with the flat side here, not the pre-notched side. It's not critically important, but it just ends up working out a little nicer this way. But we got it folded, now we're ready to install it. Okay, so now we're installing this piece here that we've cut and pre-folded. We've pre-marked our wood here to 13 inches, and that's where this pre-cut mark's gonna go. We're gonna try to wrestle it into place on both sides, and this part that's pre-folded kind of flaps down. This side will eventually get 4 cap nails, right? We wanna make sure that we shoot in the bottom about 1.5 inches because this block of wood doesn't extend all the way up. You can see over here, it's a 2x6. So if you put cap nails here, they do nothing. You got to put the cap nails down here. So we're going to line this up and get it ready. Maybe even pop a couple of nails to show you how it all comes together. All right, so we got this started. You can see 4 cap nails across the bottom. We got 1 right here, you know, right around the mark, plus or minus 1/4 inch. More importantly, the top of this black baffle needs to be flush with this wood, or just a little bit recessed like that right there. That's okay, right? And we got the same thing going on this side here. And then we're gonna pop a couple more. And Jeff is making sure that as he's doing that baffle is flush with the top, because a lot of times the gun will push down on the baffle. So you might have to pick it up. And so we'll get a couple, and you'll see that he's floating the ends, because the next layer will actually push that down a little bit. And we're gonna show that here in a second and then secure it down. All right, they're wrestling it into place there. And again, I like to use the flat, clean surface on top. It just bends a little easier this way. You can do it the other way, but this one seems to be better. They're doing about an inch, 1.5 inch overlap, enough to shoot one of these cap nails and capture that overlap there. And so, whoa, that's a little low. It kind of sunk down on you there, Jeff. So he's wrestling it up. There it is.
Yeah, the gun pushes it down.
The gun does push it down.
Let me do this side first.
All right, we'll do this side over here first. There it is. Okay, now that we got them started, right, this first one for the next layer is the last one for the previous layer. And we're gonna shoot 2 or 3 more along the side. I like to get 3, so that's 1, 2, and then 3. We're not quite equally spaced there, but on this side's a little better. That's it, so it's 1, 2, 3, and then the last one gets floated into the next layer. So while we got a couple of guys working on the baffling, we can get another crew of 2 or 3 doing the radiant barrier right behind them. The goal being that when that team finishes this row of baffling, they can jump down and start working the next row of baffling while these guys are finishing up the radiant barrier. And this will allow quick work all the way down. All right, we're gonna get the details of the radiant barrier. So we need to cut a strip. I've pre-marked an area here in this roof. There's a little Sharpie mark there, and we'll throw something, maybe a hammer to keep that from. Yep, and then we'll roll this out to some predefined distance. Again, I'll get that measurement here a little bit later, but we'll roll this out, and then we're gonna cut. We wanna make sure we get a nice straight cut across. Okay, so the first part's a little tricky. What we want to do is we want to place this radiant barrier such that the bottom is even with the baffle, and then we want it centered left to right, so it's wider than this space here. So you'll have a little bit coming up over here and a little bit coming up on this side. You want a little bit on both sides. You don't want it all up on one side and none on the other, because that's where we're going to be putting staples. On this first port down here, Ethan's going to put, 6, 7 staples. We want to be generous with it. We don't want this to fly off until we get the roof on. So you can see he's putting a good number. And similar to the Smart Baffle, he's towards the bottom. In this space here, there's nothing behind it. The wood ends right around here, so the staples are going down here. Yep. And what we want, Oliver over here is pulling this to where there's some tension so that it's nice and flat. This one's done very well. This one's done well. That one's done well. You can see over here, we got a little loosey-goosey, got some bubbles. We'll probably pull those staples and try to flatten it all out. We want it to be pulled nice and tight, a little bit of tension. And you can see in the beginning, he's putting a high density of staples just to get this started right. And then Oliver's ahead of him, ensuring that we're equal up on the left and equal up on the right. And then there'll be a staple about every foot all the way up. And you can see that they're doing this in parallel while the baffle team is finishing baffling. And when the radiant barrier team gets maybe about there, the baffling team can start doing this. Right now, the baffling team is cutting off those ears and pre-bending that first one to install down here.